Hello, welcome to ASL Success Chat. My name is Shawn Tulloch. This is my sign name. So today's chat, is for deaf and hard of hearing youth or deaf and hard of hearing young adults, because we want to show them the different job options that are out there to show them that deaf people can get jobs. So this chat is supported by CAN, which is the Conservatory ASL Northwest. And today is Thursday, April 29th, 2021. Today's time of recording, today's video will be recorded and also will be shown on Facebook. There are 2 people shown right now, but there's lots of people who can watch. And after the recording is over, you are welcome to join and ask any questions to Anna that you could possibly want. So please check the CAN website. That website has Zoom information, and that's how you would join us here on Zoom later. So today we do have 2 voice interpreters who will be voicing what we're saying. And if anyone doesn't know sign language, but you want to ask Anna a question, you can turn on your mic and ask, and one of the interpreters will interpret for us. Okay, so today's chat is very special. It's a little different, and that's because we have a visitor. This visitor won Miss for Montana pageant, and she also went to Las Vegas to compete on a national stage in the national pageant. She won a specific award, and that was called Miss Congeniality. What's her name? Her name is Anna Haslund. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for joining.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, it's a really exciting time. I'm so excited that you could be here today. So I'm just going to ask Anna some questions. For example, what's your job? What do you do?
I'm a dog sitter and dog walker. I love, working with different dogs every day. I also public speak, and I speak to the dogs and form relationships with them. So I've been doing that for 5 years, and it's been a wonderful experience. I even stay, at the houses sometimes. I really just enjoy that experience and the variety it provides.
So can you explain a little bit about your experience with competing in pageants and your experience winning the Miss of Montana and also the Las Vegas experience as well? Please tell us about that.
Absolutely. It was interesting being, the only deaf person in these pageants, and joining Miss Montana USA as a contestant. I didn't win, but I did get Miss Congeniality, and I wanted to continue to compete, but only 7 people moved on. So I was able to do Miss Montana for America, and I got into that pageant. I didn't expect to win it for the first time, so that was an exciting experience, and I was really honored to be a part of it. Then I worked really hard, so I wanted to thank all of the partners that I had, in Las Vegas. I was there for a week, and I just met these amazing people. I had a wonderful experience competing, and I had great communication with people following, and we followed all of the COVID guidelines. So it was a very challenging experience, but I'm very grateful for what I've learned through the experience. And getting Miss Congeniality twice was wonderful. I really felt great about it. And for the deaf and hard of hearing community, I want to be an advocate for equality, and I want to see improvements in the systems. For example, the ADA, the Americans with Disability Act.
Can you go back a little bit when you were talking about the competition? You mentioned Miss USA and that competition, and then you had rehearsal and practice for Miss for Montana. What kind of things do you have to work on to be able to do these kinds of pageants?
That's a great question. Um, I had to work on my interview. You might think it would be easy, but it was tough. You had to be ready to answer the questions. They would say, for example, what is your favorite color? And I would have to give an answer. Oh, I like white, because it wouldn't be so simple like that. I would have to talk about how I like white because it's a symbol of hope for the future. Or in terms of the swimsuit competition, you have to practice the different poses with high heels on. It was very challenging and I hated it, but I did get through it. Also, with the gowns that we wore, they were very fancy, and we had to be a representative for our state. There was, the gowns and the swimsuits, but there was a fourth category that I won, which was costume. Miss Jenkins, which is a Montana representative here.
Wait, who is that person?
A person who represented Montana. It was back in 1820s. I'm not really sure the exact date, but so I modeled her character.
So I'm curious, do you have any crowns with you?
Yes, but I want to warn you that they're very heavy, so I don't want to wear it this whole time we're chatting, but I can show it to you.
Oh, I'd love to see it. That's beautiful. And that's for Miss for Montana, correct?
Yes, and I was not expecting to get the crown, and so I got it. I realized that it didn't fit my head.
Oh, really?
But it was interesting. Let me show you this. You see the back side of it? It's adjustable.
Very nice.
So it can fit my head more comfortably now that I can adjust it. And, each system has a different way of doing it. It's very interesting.
Did you have to bring that crown to Las Vegas?
No.
What did you bring to Las Vegas?
I was scared that some people might steal that. I didn't want to lose it. So they suggest that if you show up to an event, you can bring it, but you wouldn't bring it to a competition because you want to respect Miss Mars, Mrs. and Mrs. And you want to be very professional.
So what did you bring to Las Vegas? Did you bring the sash that you're wearing right now?
Yes. And then I also had a swimsuit sash for the competition, as well as a formal gown, because there's 24/7 photography happening, media coverage. So you have to be ready for that. There's a lot of practice that goes on, and it's a huge responsibility.
And you call each other sisters, right? The other competitors?
Yes, we do call each other sisters because there's this bond that occurs. And I was very happy to meet all of them, learn their stories, as well as their platform for, what they were supporting. It was very inspiring. I talked about the Americans with Disabilities Act and sex trafficking and drugs, but so that was one example of my platform, but there are various platforms. So it was interesting to see what people were representing.
Wow, I really enjoy hearing about your experience, but I'm wondering about when you were growing up, back when you were in school, did you go to a deaf school or did you go to a mainstream school? And I'm also wondering who supported you? Who did you look up to and learn from and try to be like when you were growing up? Can you explain that?
It's funny because many people think I was born here in Montana, but actually I was born in Seattle, Washington. My family moved here to Montana when I was 2 years old, and I had a deaf education class. I was mainstreamed all my life. I was not at a school for the deaf. When I was 4, my parents divorced, and so I was happy to go back and forth between my parents' houses and was supported the whole way. One of my role models is my best friend, Erica. She is hearing, and we signed up for cheer team. And I was being bullied behind my back by 3 different people on my team, and Erica stood up for me. And so we started texting back and forth after that experience. She started learning sign, and then we've been friends ever since. Erica also went to Las Vegas with me to help me as an interpreter. I hope, that I think we're both very proud of each other. We inspire each other every day. And she's changed my experience.
So you were mainstreamed growing up, and then once you graduated high school, okay. So during high school, did you have interpreters for any of your classes?
Yes,
Oh, very nice.
I had good accessibility. And I also was able to communicate with my teachers on my phone. They allowed me to have that. If there was an issue that showed up where accessibility wasn't 100%, I was able to get my phone and communicate with the teacher, and it went very smoothly. I went to a community college and then transferred. So I transferred to a couple different schools, and then I've been at the University of Montana since, but I did take a pause for a while so that I could, I want to finish college eventually to be a dance teacher, but I'm a little on the fence because of my knee. I have an injury, and so I'm not sure if I should continue with that. And then I've also really enjoyed the pageants that I've been involved in. And, there's so many possibilities. I started rock climbing as well, so.
There's so many options out there. You have to really look and find exactly what fits you. And I'm very sorry about your knee and that happening, but life happens. You just have to be able to find your path and change it if you need to. But that sounds like a perfect job for you. I'm very happy for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful for the ability to learn from these many experiences that I've had and the many opportunities that I've been a part of. I've heard, one door closes and another door opens. So there's just so many opportunities out there.
Right, exactly. So one last question for you. I just want to remind everybody, who's watching, and I also want to remind anybody who's watching, if you have any specific questions for Anna, please find the Zoom information and you can join and ask her since we're almost done. So we have one last question for you, Anna. So do you have any advice, maybe a sentence that you can tell the deaf or hard of hearing youth that are interested in your field, in pageantry? Or can you share anything about, your experience that would help everybody? What advice do you want to pass on to motivate the next generation?
My advice to everyone would be not to put yourself down. You should think positive and it will guide you to success. A no is a not yet. There's still a possibility to keep going. I have not let my disability stop me. You have to let it give you the opportunity to prove others wrong and become a success. I'm so proud of all of you guys every day for what you're going through.
Yes, and are you going to continue doing pageants until when? Or you continue Miss Montana until when?
Until July 31st. I will pass it on to another contestant, whoever wins.
Are you going to have to be available to go to all these different places until July? And how can people contact you?
That's a good question. Right now, I'm doing a search for volunteers because I want to make some appearances. So I have a phone number that you can reach out to me on, as well as Facebook and Instagram. I am happy to provide the link and provide appearances. until that time period is over in July. I want to get back to work afterwards and find a good job, as well as I'm willing to give presentations on, issues, how we can address issues in the Senate, and so that we can see law change in the areas that we're currently experiencing challenges with accessibility and equality. I want to see a better world with equal access for everybody.
That education part that you mentioned, where you're going to go around and educate people who don't know anything about deaf people, that is actually that's an ongoing project that everyone's doing. It's never going to stop. So I completely understand that. I also wanted to add the comment, when you won Miss Congeniality in Las Vegas, and then you were able to, I said to vocational rehab, and people thought that was just wonderful news. They think you're amazing. You're an amazing role model for people to show that deaf people can do anything. The only thing they can't do is hear, and that's okay.
Right. We can do anything we put our minds to, so we should chase after our goals.
Okay, so the contact information for Anna will be on the website. If you're looking for that, that'll be there, and then you can reach out to her. So again, I wanted to remind everyone who's watching, if you have any specific questions, please go ahead and join the Zoom now, and we are going to finish recording this live stream. Thank you, Anna, so much for your time. I really enjoyed interviewing you.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.